distinct honor and pleasure talking to Ambassador Ashok Venkatesan about Republic Day, and it's a great honor to be present over here and see the community come together. How do you feel at this moment?
Well, I'm absolutely thrilled. I'm glad that so many people have taken the time to come here. It's a great event. We do it at ICC Milpitas for precisely the reason that we like to get as many people from the community, and since most of our community lives in the Bay Area, makes sense to do it here.
Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about Startup India, and I was absolutely thrilled to see the speech and the different initiatives that have been recently started. So, can you tell us a little bit about how we can get involved with this whole movement?
I think the program of Startup India was something which was a follow-up on the visit of Prime Minister Modi to this area. And as you know, India is the third largest startup capital of the world. And this is the reason why Startup India, Stand Up India took so much traction. We had a lot of people from Silicon Valley, people from venture capitalists, businessmen, CEOs who attended Startup India from here. And this included some very big CEOs like the Uber CEO. And so we feel that there is a great deal that can be done through synergy between here and India in terms of startups, encouraging startups, mentoring them. TAI and other organizations are already doing good work in this area, but I think a more organized system whereby the modalities of such mentoring is available and known here and in India would be a good idea, where people would feel the possibility of seeing the opportunities of learning from the experiences here in terms of Indians coming here, and also since there are exciting possibilities in India of people from here reaching out to India and seeing how they can link up with startups in India.
Now, with all this activity that's happening around here as well as in India, do you see an increased interest amongst mainstream and the movement of traffic in terms of both tourist as well as business? Do you see any increased traffic with that?
It's too early to see exactly how much increase there is, but I think there is a significant interest which has been generated not only in the Indian American community but also in the other communities in America, and this is reflected in the fact that more and more people are expressing an interest in visiting India. We've had recently the Kerala tourism coming here for an event on promoting Kerala, and we are looking forward to other states and the main Federal Tourism Board, Central Tourism Ministry coming here also for the same purpose. I think that the presence of the electronic tourist authorization, whereby you can get an authorization on the computer, travel with the piece of paper printed out in your house to India and get a visa issued in the airport on arrival. This is making a significant difference in terms of increasing the number of people, increasing the attractiveness of India as a destination by making it much easier to get a visa. And many people have told me that, in a matter of 3 to 4 hours, they get a visa. And we already have seen in the last year, it's less than a year since we started this program. In this period, we have already seen a shift whereby 20% of the visas which are being applied are in fact e-visas. Okay. So that is a sign, and this will reflect in the total increase in terms of visas, and I look forward also to this reducing the workload we have, because we do something like 90,000 visas a year, and now if 20% of that comes down, it will mean an easing of the load for us also.
Now, do you have the breakup of the 90,000 visas that you do? How much visas for NRIs born, raised here, as well as the mainstream?
We don't do that kind of a breakup because we do only on the passport basis. And there are 3 types of Indians in the ethnic sense. Here you have the H1B variety, you have the green card variety, and you have the citizens. So for the citizens, we need a visa. They need a visa. the other two don't need it. So we basically need to see that the number of citizens who are going is also increased. At the same time, we want to see more non-Indian Americans also going. The Indian Americans, I have been encouraging them in a large way to go in for OCI. If they go in for OCI, they don't need to worry about a visa ever. So this would also mean that we would not have a count of precisely how many went, unless we checked with Air India and with our own people as to how many people entered, because many of these people don't require a visa to go to India now. So numbers are difficult to give you a metric on that, but in general terms we see a growth.
You're watching America's first South Asian TV talk show, Women Now.
I also want to talk to you about the comment that Honorable Srimati Nirmala Sitharamanji made at the Forbes event, where she said it's all about the perception management, and that is the difficulty that she's faced with. What are we doing from here to increase a better perception of India?
I think it's something which has to be commonly shared between what we do and what you do. Improving the perception how Americans, particularly, we don't need to sell Americans to India to Indian Americans as much, except to make it more attractive perhaps from the point of view of facilitating them in their requirements, because Indian Americans have two types of requirements. Even those who do not worry about visas worry about apostilling documents, notarizing documents, getting houses sold in India. If we make these things more attractive, then there will be more traffic, there will be more people wanting to do things with India. In terms of those who do not have direct Indian connection, we need to make sure that they feel encouraged to come to India in a big way. India itself is a very, very attractive destination, but we have to make sure that both the front office and the back office are attractive. We have to make sure that Thailand and other things are perceived by the average tourist American. India also becomes something like that in terms of their perception. For that, we need to make sure that we have more hotel rooms. It's not enough that we have at the moment. We are increasing it. This is one of the things under Make in India, that 100% foreign development, direct investment in hotels is permissible. So these are kinds of measures whereby we could improve tourism. At the same time, we need to also improve the perceptions of security and safety. We need to make sure that women tourists who go are not molested, who are safe. We have tourist police who will take care of them. We need to make sure that the average person who feels like going to India feels safe at the thought of going to India. This is, I think, the goal which we need to do. Make it safe, make it attractive. You will have lots of them going, because frankly there's no destination as great as India.
Of course, and without a doubt, I couldn't have been happier being an Indian and in the US today, is because of the relationship that is developing, and thanks to the consulate, that how we have been working closely together and the initiatives that you're taking. We're really proud of that. Would you tell us one message about what in your mind you think is the strongest point of India?
I think the strongest point of India is the traditions that we embody, the values that we embody. And these are things which we cherish and which we feel we have a message to give to the world. There is perhaps no other civilization which has continuously existed in the manner in which we have. No other civilization which has the kind of spiritual and scriptural and philosophical roots which Indian civilization has. So these are our strengths, and we need to use this. And I already see a great deal of interest in the US, whether it's yoga or it's Ayurveda or it's other Indian scriptural writings, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and so on. And at the same time, we also need to emphasize the multi-dimensional aspect of India, in that we are also the second or third largest Muslim population. We are also having 25 million Christians. We also have every other community. We have Jews, we have Parsis, we have Jains, we have Buddhists, we have Sikhs. So it's a kind of demonstration that this is an inclusive society which welcomes people who come.
So for you personally, sir, have you set yourself a goal that when I end my term here, this is what I want to see, or is it like an ongoing journey and you're just a part of that?
No, I think right from the time when I came more than a year ago, the idea has been to set goals. Goal number one is in terms of business, and in that there's a great deal of direction coming from India in terms of the plans of Prime Minister Modi for Make in India, for Digital India, for Skill India, for Clean India. And with that now, at that time itself, apart from economic issues, the second big issue was connectivity in education and similar spheres. Before I came here, I was trying to see what are the possible links between universities and institutions of higher learning which we can do. I have done some ferreting around, researching and talking to people from this part of the Bay Area and also from Seattle, from Phoenix and other places. And I hope that something will turn up in terms of this. And I'm happy that that also echoes with a program of the Prime Minister of Skill India, where we are trying to link up not only at the tertiary education level for science and technology, high technology, but also at the more basic technology level, where we are talking of skilling for educating the engineers and others who get out so that they become more employable.
Well, that's very well said, and I think the hyperactive community is a great resource for you today, and they all want to do something, and we are feeling all proud about it. Thank you so much.